Hello, you're welcome to my channel. Today we are going to make a basic sleeve. It's going to be a very straightforward basic sleeve so that we can hook it and try it out. So I have my fabric here. So the first thing we do make measure of that I do advise beginners to do so that to make your job very easier is to measure round the armhole. This is the armhole. Let's assume this is the armhole. This is how the armhole is. So you measure round this armhole of the front and the back bodies. So let's assume this is our armhole. So you just make sure take your top, because we are going to attach the sleeve to the armhole. So it's always very easier to measure it. So for my hole now is 8 inches. So that means I'm going to have 16 inches for the round armhole. This is just the armhole here, armhole depth. But when we are talking about armhole circumference, you know we have the front and the back that we're going to attach together. So that means that we're going to measure the front armhole depth and the back armhole depth to give us one sleeve. And remember, we're going to have 2 sleeves. So now I measured it was 8. Let's measure it again. This is 8 inches here. So that means that when I measure the back, let's assume we measure the back, it was 8 inches. So that means we have 16 inches width. So which means I'm going to add seam allowance to it. So when I'm adding seam allowance, I'm going to make use of 1 inches. So that means 16 plus 1 is 17 inches, and we have 2 to make use of. So don't mind my fabric is a little bit dirty. So let's see, we take 17 inches here. This is 21. Let's see. Let's make use of this. So I'm going to make use of a 2 sleeve for the front and back. So for the right side and the left side. So we have 2 sleeves. So we have each sleeve folded into 2 and placed on top of each other. So we have this fabric ready now. So the next thing I'm going to show us now is to measure. We have 17 inches, 17.5 inches, right? 17 inches. So that means when we divide it by 2, we have 8.5. That means our sleeve will be here. It should not be longer than this. Let me cut out this part. So we have this. So the next thing I'm going to do now is we have this side now. This is the folded edge. This is the rough edge, the open edge here. So now I'm going to go to the rough edge here and measure down. If you want a very, very basic sleeve, you can measure down 3 inches. If you want a bit fitted sleeve, you can make use of 5. We call this from here to this 5, we call it cap height. So this is the cap height that is going to stand on your bicep. So I have this cap height here. I make use of 5 inches. So the next thing I'm going to do is that I'll measure in 0.5. Then the seam allowance, which is 0.5 as well. So that means 1 inches. If you make use of 2 inches for your seam allowance, remember when we fold this into 2, you're going to have 1 inches seam allowance on this top. So you make use of that, your seam allowance plus 0.5. Let's get it that way. 0.5 plus your seam allowance. So if I make use of 0.5 for my seam allowance, and 0.5, that one is fixed. So 0.5 plus your seam allowance. So we have this now. So the next thing you are going to do here is just to remember we have to measure the length of our basic sleeve. So when I measured it was 10 inches. So I want the 10 inches. Then the width of where the sleeve we stand, I'm going to make use of 5. This is 5 inches here. So I'm just going to cut from here. So how do I get this curve? It's very easy. For a beginner, it may not be very easy. So what I do advise is that you measured your width, which is 8.5 here, divided by 2 is going to give me 4.125. So this is it here. So you curve from this to the half here, then you go slightly down, and that is all about the sleeve. Then you join from the tip of the hemline of the sleeve down here, and we have something like this. It's as easy as that. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to cut out. Then we shape this out. So this will be a little bit bigger than your stem and than your armhole, but it's better that way. So this is all about how to make a basic sleeve. I hope you're going to try it out, and if there's any question, you can ask your question under the comment box, and don't forget to share with your friends, ask them to subscribe to this channel. So till we meet again, I hope you're going to show me the picture of what you've done on this sleeve. So see you till next time. Bye bye.